What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today, I am reviewing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And then the plan is Friday, I'm going to be reviewing Rise. I was supposed to do it last Friday, but I just couldn't. Friday was just... I was basically at work all day, and I just didn't even get a chance to watch it. And then this weekend was just kind of crazy, so I'm going to do Kingdom this week. We're also going to be doing... It's been a while. I remember it being really trash, though. We're going to do the Tim Burton one. We're going to do that one on Wednesday. But the plan today is I'm doing two videos. I'm doing this one now. And maybe a little later. We'll see how I'm feeling. Either a little later at night. I'm going to review Prince of Darkness. It's a John Carpenter film I've actually never seen. I've been recommended by my friend Steve. He says it's really good. So, and it has Donald Pleasance in it. So I'll be reviewing that tonight. I'll be probably watching it a little later. Tomorrow I'll be doing Late Night with the Devil. I know I've been saying that. I've been meaning to watch it, just haven't. But tomorrow, if I don't have anything going on, we'll be doing that. Wednesday, Planet of the Apes. I'll figure out what we'll... Actually, you know what? I know what we'll do Thursday. Since I just watched Fall Guy a couple of weeks ago, why not do another great Ryan Gosling movie? And it's been a little bit since I've seen it anyway. We're going to be doing The Nice Guys. So I'll be doing The Nice Guys on Thursday. And then Friday, will probably be Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Because I think all the movies I've wanted to see this month I pretty much have. Like Fall Guy. I probably will actually try to see that one. And I'll try to see that one again in the theater. Just because how well it's not doing. I want to give it a little bit of support. So maybe I'll go see that Friday. But there's no, like, newer movies this month I necessarily plan on seeing. Like, and I guess Garfield, but I don't think I'm seeing that in theaters. I'm going to probably stream that. I don't really have any interest in the new Strangers, so I'll probably will, since, like, pretty much this month I'm done in terms of new movies. This Friday, the next few Fridays will be the trilogy. This Friday I'll be doing Rise, unless, like, I have a crazy Friday like I did last Friday, but I don't think I will. So that's to be this Friday. Next Friday will be Dawn, and then we'll do War, which I'll be honest, War of the Planet of the Apes, I have only seen once. I liked it. I just didn't really get around to rewatching it because I feel like I'd have to watch the whole trilogy again, not just the first one. But so why not? But Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This was my most anticipated movie this year, and I'm sorry, this wasn't good. I won't say it's bad per se, because it's not necessarily, like, it's not badly acted, I guess. There's some good special effects, especially, like, a lot of the apes. But my God, man, this movie was, I put this on Twitter. It nearly put me to sleep. Like, I didn't see this in theaters, but it nearly put me to sleep. I was zoning out a lot. There was that start of the movie where you're meeting Noah. There was just I felt like nothing happened. And that's when I feel like a movie is for me, is when I consider a movie bad. Is if I feel like nothing really actually even fucking happened. And I feel like that's what this movie was. The only scene is there's different, like, I guess they try to say there's more religious and cultish Planet of the Apes, but it's like they've already done that in other movies. Far better, too. I just feel like in this one, it's very surface level. Like, oh, here's Proximus's cult, who Proximus as the villain was so boring. There was nothing to him as a villain. Literally nothing to him. This movie, in my opinion, was unnecessarily long. I think that was the other problem I had with it. It was very fucking long. This movie it was like, granted, I didn't see it in theaters, so the version I watched was like 2 hours and 18 minutes. But I think the actual length is like 2 hours and 25 minutes. So it's almost 2.5 hours. Why? This movie did not need to be that. When you look at the first Rise of the Planet of the Apes, that one's only like 1 hour and 45, so not even 2 hours. And then the other two are like, the second one is like a little bit over 2 hours, and the third one's 2 hours and 20. But at least those are the last two movies. The first one's like 1 hour and 45. It was a reasonable time. That's what this movie should have been. You could have easily trimmed this down to like 1.5 hours, 1:40. This didn't need to be 2 hours. I actually don't even think it needed to breach 2 hours. I think, especially with just a lot of nothing happening, that first 30 minutes was just nothing. It was like, okay, let's see Noah try to steal some eggs. Okay, who cares? I was just not into it, man. I was just like already. I'm like, I get the argument that some people might use. It's supposed to like show you how the world is, but you gotta immerse me in a better way than that. Then here's what they're doing on their daily day, and it's just like, okay, they're stealing some hawk eggs or eagle eggs. Okay, whatever. And then there's a scene where Proximus's people, like big apes and all this stuff, attack Noah's home, and they basically take him because these people don't know anything about Caesar, which I find hard to believe. I don't know how they would not have heard about Caesar. I get their apes, but how? I mean, so that's the even worse thing. How have they not heard about Caesar? That's the other problem I have with the movie. I felt like Caesar was just almost name dropped just as a almost obligation in a way, where it's like, okay, we have to name drop him, but he doesn't feel like he's part of this. Doesn't feel like it's in the same world at all. You would have been better off if you want to just make Noah a descendant of fucking Caesar. I mean, I guess they could theoretically still do that, but it's insane to me. These people want to do a trilogy. They want to do, keep in mind, guys, they want to do 5 more movies, because I think they want to get to 9. So basically 2 more trilogies. So 2 more movies and then another trilogy. 2 more movies, I guess, within the Noah story, and then 2. I don't know how the fuck they plan on trying to get to 9 movies when there's just, this one wasn't compelling at all. Noah is not compelling. He was boring to me. He was just there. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really even remember what he sounded like. He wasn't that compelling at all, and Proximus was boring. Not once did I really feel like he was a threat, and then you compare him to Koba, it's not even close. And then the human characters who they introduced, May, I think is the girl, they introduce her halfway through the movie, by the way. The humans don't even feel they feel like a non-factor in the start of the movie. It's almost like the apes were never at war with humans. It's almost like the movie, I felt like maybe they should have leaned more into that. I think that would have been kind of interesting instead of focus on the inner fight between some of the apes. I think that would have been kind of interesting because we don't really get to see that. Don't get me wrong, that's what the theme of these movies are, but it would have been more interesting than just another humans versus apes. Because I felt like this movie doesn't even really explore that, because the human characters are just there. May, the chick you're supposed to follow, is just there. She's boring. She's nothing. They bring in William H. Macy, or Trevathan. I guess he aligns with the apes. And Proximus wants to get this vault, I guess, that has all these weapons and human technology, which the vault is it might as well just be a fucking, it's a MacGuffin. It's another MacGuffin. The vault doesn't actually really matter in the movie. Once they open it, it's just there just for not memorabilia. I meant to say just for, it's a MacGuffin. There's a thing they need to get, or the things inside the vault they need to get. It doesn't actually have any purpose. Proximus, I think his whole thing is he wants to evolve like humans, I guess. I don't know. You don't care about him as a villain. He's not compelling. Koba from the newer trilogy is a far more compelling villain than this guy. Proximus is just boring. The speech he gives later on when he's introduced, which you see a lot in the trailers, is sad because the trailers were good. I thought the trailers were good. It made me interested in the movie, but then it kind of makes me realize why, because they showed you all the interesting scenes. Because the rest of the movie is a slog. There's nothing interesting and compelling really happening. There just isn't. I don't know. William H. Macy was just there to be the bad guy, and he gets killed. Okay. Koba and May have zero. And I guess because Noah doesn't really know what's happening, and then Noah talks to May, they get connected, and basically they work together to try to stop Proximus and steal what's inside the bunker. They end up doing that. They find another bunker that has like I guess another group of survivors who can talk. And yeah, it's just whatever, man. I was tuned out, dude. I just was never actually. I don't think I was ever tuned in. I'm gonna be fucking honest with you. I was never really into this movie. At one point, was I really into this movie? I think the way it started was boring. It was just like I just like oh we're in this world now, but there's nothing actually compelling about this world. There was nothing. No characters were compelling. Nothing. I just was bored, dude. I was bored to tears. I was almost like I'm not kidding you. I'm not just. I don't. I didn't want to say that about this movie, especially because up until this movie, I feel like a lot of the movies I've been seeing were good. You know, good to great. You know, Boy Kills World. But since April, I'll even start before that. Since April, you know, granted, I thought it was gonna be shit, but The First Omen, Abigail, you know, um, Boy Kills World was great. The Fall Guy, so great movie, good to great movies up until this point, and then it's like this comes out and they just go see Fall Guy. Fuck this movie. I'd honestly only say go watch it if you want to, I guess, continue the story. But I honestly say you don't need to pay for this. You're just gonna be just sitting there for 2.5 hours, just bored out of your mind. Because I'm sorry, Noah's not compelling at all. Proximus isn't compelling, so you don't have a compelling lead character, and then you don't have a compelling villain, and then the human characters are just there. That's why I was like, I would have rather than just maybe you should have just explored the rivalries within the apes. That would have been far more compelling, at least interesting, because it's something we've never really seen within the Planet of the Apes. You know, like, don't get me wrong, the big story is the humans versus the apes, but I do think it would have been interesting to explore that far more than what we got. Fucking like, because the humans are just there. They don't really matter. You don't even see the first human character until, like, I'd almost say 40 to 50 minutes in. It's almost like an hour into the movie is when we're introduced to this character, May, who, my opinion, is just boring. Like, has the personality of a fucking wet blanket. It just, honestly, you know what's the fucked up thing is the gorilla villain that, you know, I guess Noah and him have a little bit of a rivalry throughout the film. I found him more interesting as a villain compared to Proximus. And I'll say it, having watched the movie, they definitely were bullshitting about him being based off Elon. I think they were just saying that because they had to I think they wanted to take a shot at Elon because this movie technically is a Disney movie and Elon has been shitting on Disney lately. So, but I think still, even take that out, he's just a boring villain. Koba's far better villain. Go watch those original three. I don't think this movie needed to be made. They're like really thinking about it. This movie doesn't need to exist. We already had a great trilogy of films, and I just don't think this one's gonna be it. Because if this is the direction they're going, I'm just not into it. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch the next one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I'm gonna watch the next one unless like I hear really strong word of mouth, like I did with Rise and the other two. Like if I hear it's as good as that one, maybe I'll watch another one. But after watching this one, I have like no interest in seeing any more of Noah and any of these characters anymore. It was just those big fucking 2.5 hours of nothing. So like out of 10, I give this film a 4.5. This is not good. I think, and I'm only giving it a half because of the CGI. Like I think that's like my only positive is the CGI. I think there are some good acting performances, but that still doesn't save the movie for me because none of these characters are compelling. So it's one of those things you can, I guess, give them credit that there's some good performances, but I can say it's a good performance. But if I don't care about your character, it doesn't matter how good you acted it. I still don't care about your character, and that's how I felt about Noah and every other character in this movie. So definitely never watching this again. To me, there's only the three newer ones that they did, and that's it. I don't even, like I said, I don't, unless I hear the next one's like really strong word of mouth, I don't know if I'm gonna watch the next one. This one kind of killed my interest in this world, at least this iteration of the world they're trying to tell. But anyways, before I hammer on, let's want to get into the actual review now. Tonight, sorry. I will be reviewing Prince of Darkness, so I'll be checking that out today, and then reviewing it today or tonight. I don't know yet. And then, yeah, that's about it. But let's get into Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, or not really get into it because nothing really fucking happened. Set several generations after Caesar. The apes have different glands too. That's another thing. Really quick. I don't really feel like they really, besides surface level, go into like the different ape clans. Like Proximus's clan's more like, I guess, zealot, like almost zealot and cultish. But that's it. It's very like surface level. Like there's no like they don't actually like go into it. Humans are feral. Humans basically can't speak. But you don't see humans for like the first 50 minutes. You just kind of hear about them. That's it. There's no like, mostly it's all apes. And the start of the movie, a lot of it is just Noah doing his daily thing, like he steals eagle eggs for coming of age ceremony. One of his eggs gets tracked, so he tries to steal another one, but this is where he sees raiders. And this is where we see the more pretty much Proximus's clan start. Noah hides from them and whatever. Then they attack Noah's village, which that was a good scene, but that was like 30 minutes in, and that sequence isn't that long. I think that's the other problem I had. That was like probably the only sequence in the movie. I'm like, okay, this is kind of good, but then they don't really go long. And then there's this scene where Noah is trying to, save his dad, but he doesn't end up doing it. So Silva is the gorilla that Noah basically has a rivalry throughout. He's a far more compelling villain than Proximus is, and he's a side villain. Like he's like one of Proximus's main like warriors, but that's it. Like he shouldn't be. That shouldn't be a far more compelling villain than your actual villain of the film. That's sad. So Silva kills Noah's father while Noah escapes, and Noah wakes up. His clan's basically all gone. Buries his father. This is where we meet an orangutan, Raka, who actually, I guess, I don't know if he knew Caesar, but he knew of Caesar. He knows the story. So he gets the story about Caesar. Basically, long exposition dump. That's what it was. That was the other problem I had. It was a lot of just exposition dumps. That, to me, is not how you tell a story. I think you could write. I think there's a difference between writing just normal dialogue and then just having an exposition dump, and that's what I felt like this was. We got to give Noah like basically what's going on with the last 3 films in like 20 minutes. So this is where you meet Nova. That's the girl you see earlier in the film. And shock, she can speak still. And they take her to the clan, and this is where they we get a fight scene. This is the part where I kind of tuned out. So this isn't gonna be a thorough review because there's parts I kind of tuned out because I was almost falling asleep. I just wasn't into it. So yeah, I guess there's like a big fight sequence. Then they get captured by Sylvia. And sorry if you're hearing fucking weird noises, fucking neighbor. So Noah finds his clan, whatever. Just it's not compelling, and I just don't care about them being in Proximus's like base or area. I just don't care. We see how it's ran. We see Proximus. He gives the big speech about whatever. I just don't care. I don't give a fuck. Oh, Noah's reunites with some of his clan. Whatever. Dude, the sad thing is, the Planet of the Apes is a very compelling story told right, and I wasn't interested in this one, man. I was very tuned out. Even the action that we do get sometimes throughout the film just did not do it for me. It was very just like, okay, whatever. And then I think it doesn't help that Noah is just not a good character at all, and I get it. I don't know if they're building maybe because they could still theoretically make him an ancestor of Caesar, but they should have just did that from the jump from this film. I don't know what they're doing with this character. Like, is he supposed to be on a hero's journey? Because that's not what this feels like at all. Like, I just legit don't care about this character. He's just there for me. So Proximus has enslaved Noah's clan. Basically, they want to use them to open the vault that has a bunch of human technology. He invites Noah. This is where we meet, I'll just say William H. Macy. Trevathan, I think is the character's name. And he is aligned with Proximus. And basically, Proximus tries to don't work with May. Basically, tries to sway Noah from working with May. Then this is where she wants the vault because there's, I guess, a book that could teach humans how to speak. Which, what? I guess capable of it restores speech for the. How would that work? I'm gonna just be honest. Even just reading that, I'm like, how the fuck would that work? That's very fucking MacGuffin-y. This book that just somehow teaches the entire humanity to speak again. Okay. But what the fuck? I'll be honest, I did not catch on to this watching the movie. I was tuned out by this point. I was never really tuned in, but anyway. But even just, what the fuck? How would that work? Okay. Noah agrees. They try to destroy, they plant explosives. Trevathan, basically is against what they're doing and threatens to warn Proximus, and he just gets killed. I'm serious. What was the point of William H. Macy in this fucking movie? He was just there to get killed, and I guess some dialogue dumps, but he was just there just because he threatened to warn Mac Proximus. He just gets killed. That's it. He just dies. There was no need for his character. You could have written him out of the movie, and the movie would have still played out the same. There was no need for that character, especially if you're just gonna kill him off very unceremoniously. So, the vault that they want is actually just a military bunker. I don't know. They don't say it in the movie, but I'm assuming, is this supposed to be like one of the settlements from the last one, from the last couple movies? And it turns out, oh my god. Okay, I'm reading this off Wikipedia because I have to jog my memory because I'll be honest. I think at this point I was kind of tuned out. The vault. Okay. And then the maze book apparently is a deciphering key for a satellite. Somehow that will restore people's speed. How the fuck does that make any sense? How does that work? What? It seemed like they overcomplicated it too. Like, just reading this, just, it's like, what? So, okay, Proximus's group finds them. Big fight scene. The explosives are triggered, destroying Proximus's hide, or basically base, or whatever you want to call it. Then we get a fight where Noah just was. I don't know what they were going for here. They were trying to like do a fight between Noah and Silva, but Noah jumps up and then Silva just gets drowned because I guess it's like a bunch of water was coming. Then they escape the bunker. Noah basically, I'll just skip it to the part yet because pretty much the fight is shit. But the Proximus's clan basically starts. Basically they all bow to Noah, so I guess he's the leader now. Which this feels so unearned. Not once during this movie did I feel like this is what that was building up to. Like, why is he the leader now? And then all the Eagles that used to work for Proximus now work for Noah. They attack Proximus, I guess, killing him. And May travels to a human settlement and whatever. I don't care. Dude, this movie is a piece of shit. It is a boring slog. Nothing happens in it. Yeah, your two main, like your main bad guy and your main character are both boring pieces of shit. Proximus, I did not care about as a villain, not once. His henchman Silva was far more compelling, and even then, there was really no payoff with that. Even Noah jumps up and then Silva just drowns. Like, there's a lot of just deaths like that where they just William H. Macy unceremoniously just dies. He just gets choked out. Or he just gets choked out. What was the point of his character? What was the point of May's character? Even. Because she was just another boring, just bland, brown-haired girl. I don't know what's Hollywood's... No. No, nothing wrong with brown-haired girls, but it's this weird, like, these just, like, Ray, like, girls like that. That's what I felt like with her character. What was the point of her character? The humans in general weren't really needed in the story. They just weren't. And it makes no sense because Noah's whole story makes no sense. Where he starts as just a guy for collecting eagle eggs for a ceremony, to, I guess he's the leader now? When the fuck did that happen? Because there was not once that I feel like his whole arc led to, like, was about him becoming a leader. That's not really what I felt like. I don't really know. I'll be honest. I don't know what his arc was. I don't think the movie really knew. I don't even think the movie knew what his arc was. But at least, but I can definitely tell you it wasn't being a leader because there was no build up to that. It's like, wait, he's the leader now? When did it? Why? Is it just because it has to be? Just because the script said so? So bad, man. What a waste of a film. I'm so sad because I actually was really... This was my most anticipated film this year. This was. Like, coming into 2024, this was my number one most anticipated movie of the year. And it's a giant fucking shit. It's not... Okay. I won't call it bad, but it's not good. I just think it's boring. Nothing happens in it. It is... I would honestly say an hour too long. It does not need to be 2 hours. I don't even think it needs to reach 2 hours. I think you could have trimmed this movie down to like an hour and a half. Hour and 40. Like basically as long as the first Rise of the Planet of the Apes was. That was an hour and 45 minutes. That's probably what this movie should have been. I don't know why maybe throughout the next few films, maybe you go up to 2 hours, but not immediately, and not 2.5 hours. What the? That was way too fucking long. There's just a lot of just wasted screen time on things. A lot of just useless deaths. Very uneventful deaths. Like even the way Proximus dies, he just falls. Like the eagles peck him and he falls off a cliff. Silva just gets drowned. So you don't actually have Noah actually beat him. I get it. Silva's a gorilla. You can't just believably have a chimp beat up a gorilla like that. But you at least have him beat him in combat. Not fucking he just jumps up and then Silva gets drowned. That's it. Like you have William H. Macy in the movie just to get choked out. That's it. Like there was no use for his character. Like at all. Like no use for really any of the characters, man. It's Noah's not compelling. Proximus is not a compelling villain. You don't feel like he's a threat. You don't like want him to get his compared to like Koba. You know, Koba was a great villain from the second one, but he's a villain in the first one a little bit too. But he was great in the second one. Like he was such a good antagonist, and I just don't feel like we got a good antagonist in this movie. So, and the fact that they want to do like 2 more movies, basically 5 more, because they want to do 2 more within this trilogy, and then do like another 3 movies. Like what are they doing? If this is what they're telling, I'm gonna say it. I don't think I'm gonna watch anymore. Like unless like I hear really strong word of mouth about the next one, I don't think I'm gonna see the next one. Even like on the seas. I'm okay with like honestly War of the Planet of the Apes being the last one. And that's it. I'm really okay with those being the last. That being the last one. Because this, in my opinion, doesn't need to exist. There's no reason. If this is what they were gonna do, you didn't need to kick off the trilogy like this. So 4.5 out of 10. It was a waste of time. I don't ever plan on watching this again. It's sad, really, because I think Planet of the Apes is a great IP, and you wasted your time. If this is what you're gonna do and try to do your new franchise, you just wasted everybody's time. I personally feel so. Anyway, later tonight I will be, or today or tonight, I don't know which one yet. I'll be reviewing Prince of Darkness, so I'll be trying to do that later today or tonight. Tomorrow we'll be doing The Late Night with the Devil. Finally, I've been really wanting to watch that movie. It's just shit has just come up that kept getting in the way, but I'm definitely going to try to watch that tomorrow. But definitely today we're going to watch Prince of Darkness. I do want to check that out. So, but anyways, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes isn't good. I don't think you really, personally, if you're asking me, don't waste your time. I don't even think really waste your time watching it, even on streaming. I just be honest with you, it's just 2.5 hours. You're just gonna kind of feel like you're just wasting time. You know what? If you want to watch something that's 2.5 hours but it's good, you know what? Watch like Dark Knight. Dark Knight's about that length, and that's a far better. But I think Batman Begins is about that close too. So watch those movies. You don't need or rewatch the original Planet of the Apes trilogy, or even the original Planet of the Apes from the '60s. Don't watch this one. This one is just a giant waste of time. The only positive, like I said, I had is the CGI. The CGI looks really good on the Apes, but it's like, once again, it's not really hard to make something look pretty in 2024. So, anyways, guys, call it here. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later.